person behind me is drunk or something. The person I just passed, you can see behind me, they're like weaving all over the place. That car I passed, something's wrong with them. Either they're really old, or having a medical condition or something. But I don't need to be messing with that. Yeah, they're like all over the line. They don't hit a car. That's crazy. You guys can see in my rearview mirror right now, my car I just passed is giving people behind me really a lot of grief. They like slowed down like 50 miles an hour. I wish you guys could see behind me, but I can't pass the camera. I'm so glad I passed those people. Something's wrong with them. They're either wasted, which is unfortunately too common on these roads. Old and dying. Starting to get a little sprinkle of snow. Snow flurries. I think it is supposed to snow tonight. That sign back there, release the grand jury, Judge Matthews. So I guess I wasn't really going to talk, I was just going to cruise, but I'll tell this story just because it's kind of funny. I was driving cab and I got pulled over, and it was right where the speed limit changes from 35 to 45, and I got pulled over. He said I was doing like 50 something in the 35 zone. I had passengers in the car. There was some other problems with the cab, like the cab inspection was over. So anyways, he was like, take your passengers and then come to the station later and I'll write you some tickets. Oh, joy. So I went and he gave me some tickets, and it wasn't my fault. Like, I pay my lease for the, cab to be all good, whatever. Anyways, back to the judge. We went in front of the judge, and I went in front of the judge for the summons, and she was like, I understand, it's not your fault. Why don't you go back to the cop and tell him, the judge basically is like, it's okay if he wants to rescind the ticket, essentially. But I didn't know cops could do that, but she was like, yeah, he can basically rescind the ticket, and this won't be on your record or whatever. And I was like, cool. So I went to the police station and talked to the cop, And he was like, I'm not in the habit of doing that. Like a total jerk face. And I was like, okay, that sucks for me. So we went to court in front of that judge, Matthews, and you could tell she was kind of pissed because he basically didn't take her advice of like rescinding the ticket. And you know, she's the judge, he's the cop. Why didn't he listen? So you could tell. So she was like, I'm going to change the name on this ticket to such and such, the cab company, and take it off of Mr. Needham's name. And she basically chewed him out in court very subtly without like saying it exactly, but she was totally on my side and made him look like a chump in court. And I was like, yes, I love this judge, she's awesome. And so I was totally on Judge Matthews' side, like, up for re-election, hell yeah, I'll vote for you again. Anyway, she got in this scandal. I think she's actually in prison now, where it was something like Small Village or something. I don't know exactly the details, but she was driving around with I think the prosecutor or something on some case, and it was basically like tampering with the case, essentially. Some guy went to jail and then got out of jail because of this, I think, and I don't know the whole story, but basically she got busted for being dirty, and like I could understand how she kind of like play the system a little bit, you know, like on itself. So she's still with me, but yeah, she got busted. She's no longer a judge anymore. Anthony. An anchor point. Not really too much to it. But property is a little cheaper out these ways. Property in Homer is expensive as hell now. Anyways, back to the speeding thing, actually. Well, the reason why I got pulled over. Yes, technically, I was speeding right there a little bit, but it would have been like 6 miles an hour over 45, and I wasn't really trying to speed. It was just right at the transition. So from the get-go, the ticket was stupid. From the pullover from the very beginning was dumb. There was no need for it. I love when people say our country's full. We're so full. There's no space at all. There's just elbow to elbow people everywhere in the U.S. There's no space at all. It's just packed with people, every square inch. We're full! No, we're just greedy. And mismanaged. One thing we are not is full. The only places are full are the places where you want to be and you can't be. That's when something's full. Like the restaurant. Sorry, sir, we're full. Why? Because we're busy. can create entire cities from scratch in Alaska. And my proposal, not a proposal, but just like spitballing, I'm not saying we should do this, but I'm saying we could. We could have like entire, expatriated migrant towns. That's like the scariest thing in the world for so many people. But I'm all about like Lady Liberty. There's a way we could do it. There's a way. Just no one wants things in their backyard. They don't want anything in their backyard. It's understandable. There's a vastness here, which is amazing, and I felt so lucky that I could just pack up my bags and move to Alaska. That is a beauty of the United States, the freedom of travel that I don't take for granted at all. I often think if I was raised and like lived in somewhere like Liberia, and we were truly overcrowded and desperate, I couldn't just pack up my bags and move to the hills with my family. I couldn't just say, this place sucks, let's go somewhere else. You can do that in the United States. There's no reason to really complain about your state of affairs because you can easily change them with one bus ticket, with one plane ride, one suitcase, one change of attitude. You can't do that everywhere else in the world. A lot of places you cannot. Even if you had that fever, even if you had the dream, and you desperately wanted to go somewhere else, there's nowhere to go. You're trapped in your borders. What's your only chance? Escape. So I do not take that freedom for granted at all, because I can empathize. I can't really sympathize because I was not raised that way and I didn't live those conditions, but I truly can empathize with not having that ability. But I can tell you one thing, Alaska is not full. There are many dreams to be made still if we let people make those dreams come to reality is the real question, actually. It's one thing to dream, but you gotta be able to make that dream come true. A lot of people dream, can't do shit about it. This drive got a little heavy, huh? I'm feeling chill though, I'm just speaking my mind. Once you come up to Alaska, if you're not from here, from the lower 48, and you can't really see it on TV or on the big screen, once you feel the vastness of it and realize that that's part of your country, you realize there's so so much propaganda and so many things to divide us for no reason. I don't understand. I don't think maybe that'll translate my thoughts right there, but just feel it. You just realize that all those petty problems and all those arguments down south and all those people road raging against each other, and it's all just, it's like rats in a cage. Just eating each other alive. That's why I love Homer, Alaska. People are kind. The initial reaction when you feel like something might have slighted you isn't immediate rage. It's, oh, what's going on here? Oh, that's what's going on. Oh, cool. Rage is the outlier. Like, if you see that, it's very odd and normally corrected by caring people. We're in Happy Valley. Whee! Quite a dramatic shift there, huh? Dude, we're so full. Get out of the way! Move! Asshole. Funny thing is, you drive outside of any city in the US, it turns to boondocks so quickly. Everywhere. This is pretty narrow. Drifting snow. It's a cool little one-lane bridge. I like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you riding on Sam Squanch Express. As always, keep adventuring. See you next time.